From Roger Miller, PEFASCEFAICP, Secretary of Transportation, he, him, his. For once, I would like somebody to switch up those, just like do a he, him, hers, just to be cool. And he's writing from the Washington State Department of Transportation. Yes, the people who bring you roads, bridges, and train things. And then there's an address and a phone number, a couple phone numbers. We're going to leave that out. But this is to Washington State Department of Transportation, all staff. That was sent yesterday at 1:20 p.m. As Secretary of the Washington State Department of Transportation, it is my honor to represent W.S.T. on the board of directors of the Western Association of State Highway and Transportation Officials, WASHTO. Or WASHTO. WASHTO has 18 member states and provides a valuable forum for exchanging ideas, informing legislation, and contributing to national policy on transportation issues. In light of the unrest across our western states and the rest of the nation due to recent events, and in support of combating and ultimately dismantling the institutional discrimination experienced by capital B Black and other minority communities, WASHTO leaders worked together to draft and pass a resolution focused on systemic racism. Just glancing at this resolution, they are all the same. There's a call to address racial inequity based on the Civil Rights Act, and then they want to basically educate staff in anti-racist training and stock up the official status or upper management with people of specific races or melanated composures. Boilerplate. It's all over the place. To continue with the letter, though, Roger writes, I'm proud of this work. It's one of the many steps that transportation agencies can take to make our commitment clear that the lives and experiences of capital B Black, capital I Indigenous, and people of color matter. One of W.S.T.'s 3 agency goals is inclusion. Through inclusion, W.S.T. is strengthening our commitment to diversity and engagement in all W.S.T. business processes, functions, and services to ensure every voice is heard. This goal has both an internal and external focus to assure that we have an inclusive, diverse workforce on the surface, I might add, while at the same time meeting our capital D disadvantaged, capital B business, capital E enterprise, or DBE goals, and creating opportunities for underrepresented populations to do business with us. As an agency, we've made great strides in recent years, but we can and will do better. In June, I asked you to truly listen to the experiences of your capital B Black colleagues, friends, and family members, and to consider ways in which we could learn more. There's a link that we will go to really quickly. Stand by. This is actually on an official .gov website, and it's not loading. So while we wait for that, we are going to continue. We could learn more and ultimately act in support of dismantling the systems that perpetrate racism within our agency and the world around us. That work is hard, it's uncomfortable, and it can be a trigger for some. That trigger could look different for each of us. Anger, sadness, guilt, disbelief. Notice he doesn't mention skepticism. The list goes on. As we learn more, and in that moment when we feel triggered or challenged by something, I ask that all of us pause to investigate our individual reactions and ultimately beliefs. Right there. That is where that hard work lives. This is a government employee telling his employees, who are state employees, to open their beliefs to his belief system. This is definitely a certain belief system. Make no bones about it. Each of our individual paths, personally and professionally, will look different in this work, and that's okay. What's not okay is refusing to believe that deeply embedded institutional discrimination doesn't exist, or that you do not have a role to play in the solution. Collective, not capitalized W, white, apathy is a literal danger to the lives of the people of color we care for. Again, this is a state employee writing. What's not okay is refusing to believe. He wants direct control over the beliefs, the internal machinations, and the systems of thought of his state employees. To wrap up, I am proud of WASHTO's resolve to put an end to systemic racism and to root out inequities across our agencies. I'm also proud of the work we continue to do in our agency, both collectively and as individuals. Let us all strive to treat others the way we would like to be treated, as autonomous beings that don't have the government telling them what to believe. And then he signs, "Thank you, Roger." So I don't know about the legality of this. This is pretty brazen, though, that at this point in time, the left coast government officials think that it is their task, their duty, and their charge to meddle with the thoughts of state employees. Furthermore, this is a guy who lays road, right? This is the guy in charge of laying road. This is just about contracts. Right. If it was just about making sure that the money that flows from the government can be distributed across various different communities, you can make an argument for that. But this is overstepping. This is about belief systems. This is about saying that white people are responsible and must do the capital T, capital W work of getting on board with this. And any sort of trigger or challenge that you have towards this is actually further evidence that you are steeped in the system and that you need to be manipulated even harder, further, faster, and more toward agreement and embodiment of these principles. I said that I wouldn't include his address or his phone number, and I will put his phone number out here because this is a state employee and this should be thoroughly challenged by the population. We should not have our government employees meddling with the belief systems of the state government. Our state should not have a religion in it. A state should be hands off with our beliefs. It's none of your freaking business, Mr. Millar. So his phone number, I would ask you to call this and, write your senator, write your governor, get involved in politics, show up to these meetings. His office number is 360-705-7054. This cannot stand. This will drive division through our union. Anyways, that was a little call to arms. I will check back in with you later. Hope you're having a good day. Goodbye.
This is the part where the white people start to applaud. Oh. And nod. Oh. Thank you, Jimmy.
We're going to have to blow up the entire system.